One love, God bless. Far Nelson here, and today we're here to do a Sunday service where I pick a random Bible verse and then I reason upon what it means to myself, and hopefully you get a message from it as well. So let's just get right into it. I'm gonna pick one. All right, so we're at James. This is chapter 1, verse 12 through 15, and then we jump to 19, you see? So let's get into it. So James chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust has conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. Wow, that's powerful. So then we jump to 19, like I said, and it says, Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of a man worketh not the righteousness of God. Wow. I feel the Most High really wanted me to speak on this one today. Really wanted me to really hear that for myself, and hopefully wanted you to really hear that as well. This is a powerful, powerful verse in James chapter 1. So let's go and download it and really dissect this. So blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. So blessed is the man, and by man, of course, we mean human life. You know, man back then, in the terms that they said, it wasn't really an actual man. It was what they called human life, you know. So blessed is the human that endureth temptation, that is able to go through temptation and still hold strong, still hold that connection with that divine source, that love that you have for the laws that you have been following until this point. You know, if you have changed the ways of yourself to the point where you're not following so much the ways of society, but you're following a code, a law, a statute that the Lord would want all of us to follow. And I feel like we all know in a nutshell what that is. If you follow this, then you are able to have that peace and have that assurance that the Lord will bless you with the crown of life. The Lord will bless you with the awareness, the abundance. This is the crown of life, you know, something that is going to go on your head, something that is going to show that you are an anointed one, that you have truly done the work to go through temptations, and still through the temptations, love the Lord, have faith in the Lord, and get through them. And then once you bear this crown, it may not be a physical crown, but you feel that weight of that crown. You feel that blessing of that crown on your head, that crown that says, oh, the Lord is always with me. I cannot forget that. There's a crown on my head. There's so many temptations, so many trials and tribulations that I went through to get to this feeling of always having the presence of the Most High with me, having this beautiful crown, having this connection, and having my, you know, that source between our eyes be finally open, that third eye. This is why it's on the crown of your head. This is the same type of situation they talk about when they talk about the third eye. When you are truly connected with that third eye, when you're truly awakened to your true self, and you are able to hold a meditation to always stay at that vibration, no matter what the temptation comes to you. always keep the remembrance of the Lord in your heart and your spirit, that you are always protected, always divinely cared for, have 100% survival rate, then you will be able to easier get through these times of temptations or trials and tribulations that come in so many cycles of our life. It is promised to us, he shall receive the crown of life which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. And if you love someone with your full heartedness, you're going to try to do your best to making sure that you are living up to the statute and the standard that they would want you to live at. That you're going to make sure that you are making sure that you're not doing anything to offend them. If we have love for the Lord, then we are making sure that what the Lord says, we are going to try our very best every single day to follow. Having that kind heart, having that loving spirit for thy neighbor, making sure we're not lusting after the neighbor's, material things or what the neighbor has, We're making sure that we are not gossiping and lying about other people, making sure that we aren't killing, making sure we aren't stealing, making sure we aren't doing these simple things, but we do all the time in small little ways, whether it's in person or on the internet, and we don't even connect it to why it may be causing chaos in our life. Maybe why we don't feel that connection with the Lord. Maybe why we don't have that feeling and that energy of a crown of life on us is maybe because we're disconnected by the little sins that we just, call normal societal things that we just tend to do on our daily basis. So let's keep going. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God, for God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. So let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. God did not tempt you. This temptation or whatever you are tempted by, whatever greed or lust or hate or worry or stress or fear or anger, whatever these negative emotions that you are tempted to follow, even if you think it's going to cause you a positive emotion, but it's a negative action. These temptations, they're not here from God just to tempt you. Everything is made from God. Yeah, this of course. But it's not here to tempt you. It's only tempting you if you let it be a temptation. What is here for many different reasons. It's not just a single reason why a single person is here. It's not a single reason why, a brick is here. That brick is going to have many different lives and many different reasons. So this thing that you are tempted by isn't here just for your temptation. It's not here to just make you a victim of life. It's not here to just attack you. It's just here. And we have to realize that we can be separate from these negative emotions and these temptations and these feelings that we have to act out in certain ways that aren't aligned with our true spirit of love and divinity. When we realize that it's not God tempting us, it's ourselves letting ourselves be tempted away from God, then we can easier bring ourselves back to our breath, back to our inner self, back to our true connection, and resist these temptations, these pools of negative emotions and actions, and live a life that's more at peace and more serenity. We're not trying to live in the way of the Lord just so that we can live a hard life that's all disciplined and tough and you can't, do so many different things that you wanted to do. No, we live this way so that we can, just like an animal lives a certain way, and that animal can find so much peace and happiness when everything is aligned. When that bear sees a river full of fish and the bear finds a perfect cave and there's nobody around in these woods, that bear is completely content. And this is what happens when we build that connection and that energy and have that crown of life on our head. We are able to realize, these laws and these statutes aren't here to just discipline us and make us have a boring and terrible life. They're here so that we can finally open our eyes truthfully and see how we can live a happy life. See how we can live a life where every single day is full of peace, full of serenity. Even the bad moments seem so minuscule to how good of a blessing the rest of the day was. Whether it's a simple day where you just cleaned and looked outside and enjoyed the nature and got some, good tea, and you read a few pages of a good book. Every single day where you're not being led into temptation, led into something that is not actually healing for your mental, physical, and spiritual. Every single day where you're not being led away from healing yourself and building that connection with the divine is a great day. We want to try to enjoy every single breath that we get, especially in the mornings. We're supposed to enjoy and thank the Most High even for the breaths that we receive. Everything that we receive is a blessing. Every single day we wake up is a blessing. Every single day that we're protected is a blessing. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. So God, that's just bringing us back to how much connected we are with that divine. Because why would they put that in there? For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither he any man. So if God can't be tempted by evil, why would he want somebody that the Most High made in the Most High's likeness? Why would the Lord want us to be easily tempted by evil? The Lord doesn't want that. We have gone astray so far. We have let ourselves do this. We have the blessing from the Lord of free will. We can't blame everything on the Lord and then be like, oh, but we still want free will. If you want the Lord to do everything for you, just say that. And I'm sure the Most High would be happy to, guide you in the right direction for that. But if you want free will, it's going to come with free will things. It's going to come with you having to be the boss of your body, your mind, your spirit. The Most High is just here to help guide you, help protect you, help get you out of situations where the Lord knows that you don't need to be in, that your heart, your spirit wasn't supposed to be in, but it's a lesson for you. The Lord puts you sometimes in situations to see if you will go through with that temptation or not. But the Lord isn't there just to tempt you. The Lord wants you to learn the lesson so that you can grow closer and closer to the divine source within. All suffering is just there to bring us closer to the way that we're supposed to be living, closer to that divinity that we all have within us. That's all that suffering is. It's for us to not only bring ourselves closer, but to also inspire us to help others become closer to their divine nature, to the Most High and the ways of the Lord. So, but every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lusts and enticed. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. So every man is tempted. Every man, woman, being, you remember man doesn't mean just man. Every human is tempted when they are drawn away of their own lust and enticed. So temptation is normal. The feeling of that temptation is normal. The feeling of, oh, I may be able to scam these insurance people and get extra money. That's tempting. Or I can sneak this drink at work and no one's gonna know I'm drunk. That's tempting. Or I may sneak away and, do this thing that I know I shouldn't be doing, and my whole family would, be so ashamed that I do. But there's so much instant gratification from it. I really want to go do it. There's temptations like that everywhere in life. Every person is tempted. when he is drawn away of their own lust and enticed. We have to realize, though, it's our own self that we have to work through, our own self that we have to let go of lust of certain things. Lust isn't just a lust as in like a sexual manner. We lust for money. We lust for freedom. We lust for power. You know, people lust for many things, and it turns them into a person that's easily enticed. You know, if we're lusting for money and someone says, oh yeah, we're going to give you more money than you even imagined you would get, but you have to do these very demonic and evil things. You may think, oh, well, that's crazy, I'm never going to do that, but there's obviously tons of people in this world who would. You see, every man is tempted. Every person is tempted. Temptation is a normal thing. But it's when you get drawn away with that temptation, and then you get also enticed, that's when you can easily fall away from how you were actually supposed to be living. Easily lose all the morals that you originally started with. See, we have to realize that every person has temptation, and we have to start from there and realize what we only need is love for the Lord. If it's not from there, then we have to let that temptation go when it arises, because it's going to arise. Temptation always arises here and there in life. Every person is tempted. But it's when you are drawn away with that temptation, you let it get out of hand. You are thinking about it for days and days. You don't take time to meditate and clear it. That is when you are easily enticed, when someone gives you an option to indulge in those temptations, to indulge in that lust. And that's when we can easily lose the morals that we have and be fallen into sin. So then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, just like I was saying. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. So when lust has conceived, when lust is being manifested, and it has, when lust has manifested and it manifests a actual action out of that lust. When you actually have put energy toward that lust, you know, you've actually done things out of lust that you knew you shouldn't be doing. It bringeth forth sin, just like it said. It bringeth forth negative actions, negative emotions, negative, energy around you. And when sin, when it is finished, when you have done with whatever thing that you did, with whatever action, whatever thought, whatever, scam you made, when the sin is done, it bringeth forth death. So you're not going to instantly die. You might messing around and doing the wrong thing, robbing the wrong people, or messing with the wrong individuals. Yeah, it might bring it forth instant death, but it's going to bring about a spiritual death. When you let lust control your life to the point where you're letting your actions be controlled out of lust, or letting your fears be controlled out of lust, letting your greed be controlled out of lust, when you do these type of things, it bringeth forth death to the spirit. You slowly but surely start to hate the environment you're in, your own self, your own life. You may be feeling good and blessed for a while. Yeah, you may be getting a lot of abundance of things. You may have a lot of money, a lot of cars, a lot of, fancy clothes and a big house. But if it's brought forth from sinful acts, if you've gotten anything out of sin, it only brings forth more bad karma into your life. Even if you steal something small from the store, you still feel that scared energy for a bit before you finally get out and feel happy, you know? But then what? The next week you want to steal something again because you got away with it. And then next week you want to steal something bigger. Then the next week you want to rob a whole bank or something. So we have to realize that when lust gets out of control, it bringeth forth more sin, and it bringeth forth a death to the spirit. Because when we let things in, when we let temptation in, sometimes it's not so easy to get rid of it. Sometimes we don't have the tools to get rid of sin. This world teaches you all about how to bring in temptations, but they rarely teach you how to get rid of it, how to get rid of those bad karmas, how to free yourself from temptations. They say, oh yeah, you gotta pay a certain amount of money and we'll help you out. You gotta pay these people monthly fees and, you know, maybe we'll give you some prescription pills that will help you out. Oh, you know, people think everything is a quick fix, but we have to deal with the root of temptation, deal with the root and humble ourselves and realize we are not as strong as we think we are. We need that extra love. We need that extra help. We need that extra presence always in our life. We need that crown of life on our head and us feeling that weight. Feeling, oh, if I do this, I know what I know. I know the wisdom I have. I know the actions I have done to get here, to get this crown on my head. So if I do this act, I am knowingly doing an act that's opposite of me, of my true source. I'm not loving the Lord right now. I'm ignoring the Lord. I'm ignoring myself. I'm ignoring my healing journey. We can't fall into temptation and not think there's going to be no form of death in our life, mentally, physically, or spiritually. We can't fall into sin and keep on letting ourselves just free fall into it and think there is no form of death in our life, mentally, physically, and spiritually. We all know the morals of good and bad. It's just that somehow with society and by what's being glorified and popularized right now, we have gotten to a point where our morals are more loose than they ever were. But we have the opportunity and the blessing to have people around us have divine wisdom written down and have divine wisdom within us that guides us to live a life that actually is healing mentally and physically and spiritually for us. So the last one, wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath, for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. And this kind of goes back to what I'm saying, that everybody should have certain morals about them, certain statutes, certain standard to them, where let every man, let every person be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. We want to be more of listeners in this world than we are even speakers. Just because we have wisdom in any type of manner, just because we have divine truth in any type of manner, doesn't mean that we need to be, berating people and letting ourselves be sucked into the dramas of the world and not be open to just listen to people and not get angry with them, not let their confusion, their sin or temptation cause us to be upset or to have wrath, or maybe what they have and we don't have. We shouldn't feel wrath or any upsetness about this, because we know that we are living in alignment with the Most High, and everything that we do is according to the way that will be healing for us mentally, physically, and spiritually. And when we are ones who are quick to speak and, quick to get angry if someone doesn't align with our viewpoints, it's not healing for us. Even if it's out of a place of wanting to help, it's not healing. We need to be more listeners. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, those who are loved by the Lord, my beloved brethren, is telling you, let every man, let every human be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of the Lord. And then when we get into wrath, when we should be listening more than we're speaking, and when we let ourselves get into wrath, it leads people further away from where you're trying to help lead them to, from where the Lord is trying to help lead them to. So when we turn to wrath, it worketh not righteousness of God. So when we are leading a life where we're not led by temptation, not led by lust, not led by our own mind, frontal mind wantings, and, because the frontal mind just always will be talking and talking until you can quiet your mind and listen to the Spirit, listen to the divine sound, the divine guidance, the word within us all. Then you will be able to lead your life out of the righteousness of the Most High. You'll be able to let go of wrath, let go of lust, let go of temptation, be more swift to hear, more slow to speak. You'll be able to truly utilize what this universe is here for, and it's for us to be of service to the Most High and to be of service to others. And in the meantime, when you're not serving others, you're just enjoying life, enjoying every single second, every single moment you get, every single lesson, whether it's a trial and tribulation or it's a blessing. You're just enjoying life because you know you're doing what you need to do to live a righteous life, to live a life that's aligned and connected with the Lord. You know that you're loving the Lord, not letting yourself be led by temptations and lust and greed and anger and wrath. This is when you're truly aligned, and you will start to feel peace and serenity. Praying every day, meditating every day, making sure that you're reading spiritual books, self-help books. It's never a time where we should stop growing in our wisdom, stop growing in our understanding of ourselves and of our weaknesses, so that we can grow stronger and not be tempted by our weaknesses in the future of our life. So I'm gonna read it one more time so that we can really now download it and really understand it. So this is James chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. For no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. And then jump to 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath, for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. So work the righteousness of God, making sure that you are staying aligned, staying in your true self. And if you haven't, please like, comment, share, subscribe. And I appreciate everybody that tuned in for this Sunday service. And I hope that you have a blessed day and you are released from the temptations that you struggle with maybe in your life. And that you are truly doing the work to align yourself with the divine source within us, that divine word and sound within us, that light that illuminates all those who see it. One love.